Here's what I was not ready for. There's a scent. There's definitely a smell of burning skin when that laser starts. And I think that makes it worse to deal with. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Miss Twiggy, and this is my update of my CO2 laser treatment, the first one I've ever had. This is about an hour after the treatment. I just arrived home, and let's go through this. This is gonna be my best friend. I wanna talk about this. Jesus Christ. This is no joke, you guys. I live in Mérida Yucatan, Mexico, and I have been recommended the best. This doctor is so great. Let me back up. I've been wanting this CO2 laser for about a year now. I've been talking about it, maybe even more. But it's so hot here in Yucatan, and it's just always so humid. The heat is. So I wanted to sort of wait for the right time, and right now it's December and it's a little cooler. I don't need air conditioning on even right now, which is incredible. The humidity is low, so I thought it might be a comfortable time to do this, so I went ahead. I actually asked my doctor, Dr. Susie, here in Mérida. She is the lady I go to for, all my treatments. A little botox. I put a little filler in my lips sometimes when I can afford it. I'm budgeted. I've had a few other things from her. I don't have any fillers. I'm all natural otherwise. For myself, I like natural aging, but I obviously like to do what I can for my skin. I don't really want to bring anything invasive in right now. And also I can't afford it, but let's be clear. The CO2 just sounded like something that, I don't know, the results sound amazing. It sounds like, you don't have to have an aesthetic, you don't have to be put under, you don't have to have anything super invasive. So I wanted to try that. It sounded like a good idea for me. And so often when I see a new treatment and I see something that sort of is trending, I'll message Dr. Susie and say, hey, what do you think about this? More often than not, she says, no, don't do it. We're now seeing the after effects, and now the surgeons are having to fix the scarring and things. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. But when I brought up CO2, she right away said, yeah, absolutely, it's great. I recommend it. I can recommend you a couple of people. The first person on her mind was Dr. Lewis, and I'm so happy because I wouldn't have wanted to be in anyone's chair today other than him. There's a trustability about him and a calm softness, which I needed. And also the price is outrageous. I don't even know if I should name it because I couldn't believe when he told me what my cost was going to be compared to what people in Canada and the US that I know of are paying. It's outrageous. I'll maybe mention it later on in this video, but his primary practice is melanoma and skin cancer. And so he deals with seeing cancer every day. So for him, he was very adamant that I understood that it's very important that I wear sunscreen after this, and that I don't just use this as a quick fix and then just go out and have bad habits again. He sort of had to feel comfortable that I was going to honor the process of this afterwards. And then he said, yeah, okay, let's do it. Just so that you know, I did all three. So I did down to my nipples almost for stretch marks, did the chest, neck, and my whole face today, which he called me very brave. One thing through all of my research was that I couldn't find a lot of women talking or people talking about that it's painful during the process. They just talk about the healing. But let me tell you about this fucking process, the treatment itself. Look, I've got tattoos. I have a lot of tattoos on different parts of my body. I have had 3 children. I had carried twins and had a very large boy. My first baby was 9 pounds, 8 ounces or something, naturally, without a problem. I just spit these kids out like it was a sport, and I put my jeans on and went home. My pain tolerance is what I'm saying is up there. I don't know many things in my life that have caused me intense pain where I would talk about it for years later. I don't really know anything except the final little white dots on my hip tattoo, on the flowers that are there. I almost lost it, but that was after an 8-hour session, and I think my nervous system was just shot. But this was worse, and I was not ready for this. He warned me that it's painful, and I asked him, different levels. Well, do you have tattoos? I compared it to different things, and he goes, it's pain. He just kept saying it's painful. And then, I do at-home microneedling, and I go pretty aggressive, and I can look like this after my microneedling session. So I said, but I do use a little numbing cream on it. And he goes, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. All right. So I did stop using retinol products a couple days before. Not sure if that mattered or not. Maybe I should have stopped a week before something. He did say that he noticed my skin inflamed really quickly. He was so gracious and generous, and he immediately had his assistant applying, I think he said cortisol. It was a prescription, I believe, cream for calming. So after he would finish an area, he would immediately apply that. Here's what I was not ready for. There's a scent. There's definitely a smell of burning skin when that laser starts. And I think that makes it worse to deal with how it feels. When that scent hit, I was like, oh, dang, this is not gonna be fun. He was really great though in managing my pain. He said, if you want me to stop, just say so. I was getting through it, I was like, making the sounds, like, ooh, like, ooh. But he didn't take that as a stop. And then he finally said, safe word is stop. I need you to say that. That was kind of sexy, getting a safe word too. I felt better after that because I realized we were now sort of a team. He knew that I could take the pain, and I knew that I could get through it. And so we were good. When I had the interview with him, he had said, or the consult, I guess, he said that he would start on a medium power, that it's not great to go full. So I asked him, what power are you on? And he said 27. And I said, out of what? And he said 60. And I'm like, what the fuck is 60 for? And he laughed and he goes, never. It's 27 is high, that's pretty high. I think for the majority of my face, he kept it on that level. There were places, he said he was playing with the levels in different areas. The most painful place for me, he did along my ears. Like, I don't know if you can see, like down in here. Because he said, you have little wrinkles in here. And I did notice that. So here was incredibly painful, and also up along the hairline and along anywhere there was hair, it seemed to be worse. He did say the skin is different there. So the other place that was very painful was right underneath the ear and along here. But I did have a lot of sunspots in there and different things. So that hurt. And also in around here, the perimeter, but I know that hurts because anything around the armpit on the tattoo felt like fire. I know that that's very sensitive skin. Let's talk about what they did to prep me. Basically, we just applied a topical numbing cream. That's it. He did mention afterwards when we were, talking it through that yes, some people will get the injections. He said, but then you have liquid under the skin, and then the procedure is weakened and you make the healing process different. He said, so to just keep it as natural as possible, that's the way that this works best. And I appreciate that. I would much rather have that too. The less that my body has to deal with being foreign, I am a big believer that your body is just going to manage it that much better. So I just had the basic minimal numbing. He did say like a woman will come in, you know, for phase, and he said normally I can't even get through that. They're like going stop, stop, stop. So you weren't kidding about your pain tolerance. You did really well, which I thought that I was a pussy. Like I really, because I thought, why is this hurting so much? I haven't heard any of the women talk about why it hurts so much, right? But it does. It really does. Unless you're getting the rest of the numbing, or you're getting put under with anesthesia or something. Well, then go ahead and do that. I kind of got 3 areas done here, so I really went for it. And he kept saying, tell me if I should turn it down. I'm like, no, I'm here. Let's just do it. Let's get through it. So I did kind of push. And I think that's just the Taurus in me, or it's just me. I don't know which one it is. Sensationally now, it feels like a bit of a sunburn, actually probably less, but now I don't know if the numbing cream is still active. I feel like it's already calming down from when I was in his office, when I got out of the chair, but it feels like my skin is really tight. One other thing that he did say is he's gonna have me come back in a few weeks, and he's gonna do under here specifically, because he said that this is such tender skin and you don't want to have to get everything done at the same time. And he actually is going to do that just as part of what I paid for this procedure. He made a call on that. I'm not mad about it. I don't mind at all. So overall, I'm proud of myself for finally getting it done. I'm curious about the healing process here, because he did not send me home with the Aquaphor that everyone else is piling on themselves. And that's the thing that most of the women are complaining about that I see. They say that's the most uncomfortable part, is being so greased up with this stuff. That's not part of his healing plan. So he sent me home with this kit. It's from Sensilis. Anyway, it's called a 10D recovery kit. Actually, I was a little concerned when I opened it, because I'm like, how is this going to get me through a week? But when I read on it, it does sound pretty impactful and powerful. I just have a little balm that I put on morning and night. But I have these little vials, these little things. They're a serum. I don't know if you can see them, guys. It's because, there you go. It's like a little serum. And one of these is good for 2 days. So one per every 2 days. I did a deep dive into them, and they are packed with incredible nutrients. There's plant stem cell, there's collagen, elastin, there's all these multivitamins. The additional cost to take this kit home was only $50. I think the long term for all of these little vials that my skin will get is going to be incredible. Look, I'm going to reveal the cost, and if you are interested in knowing more about Mérida, knowing more about my doctors that I go to here, having questions about coming here, I'm open to answering any questions, and people have asked me to concierge this for them. We'll see, maybe I'd be open to that. But my total cost for today, including my kit and my water, was 7,500 pesos. So the procedure itself, if you're just getting one section done, one face or neck or something else, is 3,000 pesos. But he only charged me for 2 sections, which is about 6,000 pesos, which comes out to be about 500 Canadian dollars. I know, because listen, I hear the costs. Canada and US, you guys are paying like 5,000 to 7,000 for this. So including the kit and this huge water, all in all, for the 7,500 pesos, because that includes the kit and the water, it was about 575 Canadian dollars. And that's going to include my follow-up for the under eye treatment as well. He said he would touch up a couple other places. I just can't recommend him enough. And also my Dr. Susie. I just implicitly trust her with all of her opinions because she's going to all of these really great seminars and learning more about the cutting edge treatments that are out there. And let me tell you, Latin America is where this stuff all begins. A lot of the stuff that I'm seeing here that has been here for a couple years is just showing up now in Canada and the US. I really trust her, and I love the fact that sometimes when I go in for a treatment, she'll say, no, you don't need that right now. You know, I've booked treatments and she's told me you don't need it. I love that about her. So anyway, guys, this is my update, and so like, subscribe, and follow along to watch my healing. I do believe that from here it's supposed to get a little worse over the next couple of days, so as you know, it starts to shed off of me and reveal the new skin underneath. I'm very excited. Thanks for being here, guys, and have a great day.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it below, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any updates on future videos and live streams. Consider supporting me through any of the links in the description below. And thanks for watching.